and ask if people know
Just
about what that keep, what's up with the keep.
Yeah, we could.
Love check.
But Laura's probably not going to go in there because he's kind of like, if there's any spies or anything, that they would.
Raphael can go in there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It is a small village called Mendon. It is a farming community, from what you can tell, with lots and lots of orchards.
Hmm. Sure, if the others want to go into the village, Laura will sit outside under a tree, read a book.
Well, one of the first things you see on approach is the tavern.
To the tavern!
A rather large tavern for the size of the village, though it is on a main trading crossroad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So likely gets a lot of traffic from travellers.
Riffle will
You know,
nudge Raphael.
I think Zoe will stay with Laurel. She does have quite the appearance.
Yeah.
Wings and halo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll stay and we can play fetch with Ari.
You know,
yeah, I'm just going to read.
the non-humans can stay while the humans go and talk to the people.
Well,
Is Riff counted as human?
I mean, does she have a template?
I mean,
Not yet.
It's just human.
Well, I'll admit he's
At
an
some
average.
point.
that's true. Riff will nudge Raphael, point to the tavern, and say, "That's a perfect place to get rumours."
Raphael smiles, nods.
Riff smiles and starts heading towards the tavern.
Raphael sweeps after.
The tavern is known as the Rusty Ladle.
All right.
Sure.
Raphael will open the door dramatically.
Dramatically open the door into the Rusty Ladle.
Aha!
It's a rather fine establishment. There are quite a few people here right now.
Yeah.
It is decently well decorated. There is even a chandelier over the stage.
Does he see the king?
You do not see the king sitting in the tavern.
I don't trust it. Don't trust it.
She probably sounds magic.
There is a beautiful young lady behind the bar.
Aha!
Detect magic first.
Too late. He's going after the beautiful young lady behind the bar.
Raphael.
She's a Medusa. Oh no. Yeah,
your
Raphael
manhood.
will sweep forward to the lady and say, good evening. Or day, I don't know exactly what time of day it is. We'll say it's evening. Good evening, I am Raphael. He smiles.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Raphael. Would you like a drink?
I would, yes. What do you have?
We have some of the finest wines. So you can get one from the local free trade cities. We also have some nice whiskey here if you want something a bit stronger.
I will have some wine, please.
Excellent. You know, she asked for like a couple of coppers.
Yeah, he'll toss a gold coin.
She fills you a glass.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Raphael sips. Is it tasty?
It is quite good.
Oh.
You travelled far?
He nods. Yes, I flew in a couple of hours ago, and boy, are my arms tired. He winks.
Flew in. Interesting. Tell me about this.
Well, as I said, I flap my arms, and there I go.
Could you show me?
I'm not in here. Wouldn't want to blow all the guests away, you see. He smiles.
She giggles.
It seems to be a rather peaceful village. First time for me to be out here. Oh, this is also my friend and companion, Rithralinde.
Riff smiles and says, "A pleasure.
It's nice to meet you, my lady. Would you like something to drink?
Please."
Get you a glass of something.
Riff will throw a gold coin as well.
She seems very happy with a gold coin.
Holy shit.
Well, Raphael threw one, so
Yeah, I threw one.
yeah.
Like, she's like looking at two gold coins, looking back and forth, just to put them
This
on
is
This
so
is the
much.
most money I've ever had in my
So much.
life.
She just puts one of the bottles on the table.
Raphael looks around and says, so, what could you tell us about the local area?
The local area. Well, there's not a lot to tell about this village. The village is surrounded by a lot of hills and quite a lot of orchards that have recently set up, making their own bit of forest. There is, I guess if you're looking for something slightly more exciting, there's the old keep just over the hill.
Nods. Mhm.
There's a lot of a lot of people say various things about it. It used to be run by a bunch of monks a while back, but some attack happened there. It's not within my lifetime, so I'm not entirely sure. A lot of the town people say it's haunted as a result.
He nods.
Very few go up there at this point.
Well, that is certainly adventurous.
Riff will discreetly point towards Raphael and use the message spell to whisper to him. I've pretty much read exactly what she's saying. I've not heard anything out of the ordinary.
Completely abandoned, you say? Looking over to her.
Yeah, the place was just after the attack. Apparently no one survived except the ghosts of the monks that used to live there. According to our local lumberjack, he said he even saw the ghost up there a few days ago.
Riff nods and says, "Where is this lumberjack? I'd love to find out more about this ghost."
Raphael whispers, "She's a storyteller. She goes nuts for this."
Riff smile. Riff's just smiling at the waitress.
Raphael winks.
If you're looking for him, Bruce is over there. He points over towards a section of the tavern which has a closed curtain round it.
All right. Okay, Riff.
There is a little sign saying "Do not disturb" next to it.
God damn it!
I'm going to kick down that door.
Yeah, I mean,
Shall I just
the sign that
stumble
says
in
"Do
there?
not disturb"? You know what you do? You just disturb him anyway. What's he gonna do?
You know what happened last time? We stood before a door and someone asked us to leave.
Would you like me to fetch him for you?
Riff shakes her head and says, "Oh no, don't bother yourself. I'll go and introduce myself." She smiles, and then walks over. And as she gets closer to the curtained off area, she'll fake a trip, like she fakes that she trips over through the curtains.
Like boobs first through the curtains.
Yeah, it just lands on top, and they just look each other in the eyes.
She's like, "Oh hi." Well, you know,
Like
Boobs first
now.
through the curtain.
Rithralinde is you know, you can see her come before she arrives. You know.
Can I have a dexterity check from Rithralinde?
A dexterity check.
Yes.
God damn, I don't know. I don't know about this, man.
Or acrobatics, do you have points in it?
You actually face plant in there.
Well, hey,
It would look very convincing.
it would.
You stumble through the curtain, immediately realise you're about to land right under the poker table, covered in the cards right now and the pieces. You can choose to get out of the way if you wish. Now, or you may land on that poker table and ruin everything.
Riff will stop with a stumble and grab onto the table with her hands to fake the stop, and apologise profusely, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I came to fetch the local lumberjack, and I appear to have tripped on one of the boards."
A very sitting in front of you are two people. A very a middle-aged man with a very, very strong beard.
Yeah,
Who
he's got to
who
be
plays
the lumberjack.
poker is just two people.
I don't know.
Jake, did Bollard go?
No. Well, I mean, he's like
He's at the entrance,
just
like.
with Laurel and.
It isn't actually poker. It's on a poker table, though, basically.
Okay.
Riff couldn't really tell, on a moment's notice, what they were playing as you were stumbling through the curtain.
Yeah, it's just the table.
But there was a game going on. But yeah, there's a very, very grizzled man, and then there is a young lady. Looks like she's a traveller. By the way, she's on very much like the adventurer's kind of gear.
Right.
Sitting across. The grizzled man looks up towards you. Well, what do you want from him?
Riff looks to him and says, I want to hear the amazing stories of the ghost that he saw. You see, I'm a storyteller, and I gather stories from across the empire. She smiles.
He looks over to his companion. I apologize, Martha. We'll have to continue this game later. She seems to nod. Grab some of her things and go upstairs. Well, if you're here, take a seat.
Riff smiles, takes a seat. Thank you. Thank you very
It
much.
was. People keep asking about this. It was about a few weeks ago. I was just cutting down some of the old dead trees near the place. The wood is, the wood is old and dried out. It makes great firewood. So I was cutting away. Suddenly I heard a rustling sound and almost like a crash, as though something had fallen. I looked towards the old keep, and all I saw was this silver shine go past one of the top towers, and appear again at one of the stairs. No details about it. Just this silvery shine.
Riff nods enthusiastically and says, well, I think I'm going to have to embellish it a little bit, but I'm sure that'll make a great story. A keep abandoned for over 100 years. Ghosts taming the halls and haunting passersby. I think it'd be great. She smiles.
This is no mere story. Whatever was in there was real. I don't know if it was a ghost or not, but it's there.
Riff nods and says, "Oh no, I don't disbelieve you. After all, from what I hear, lots happened at that old keep."
More than many care to acknowledge.
Riff looks quizzically and says, "All I've heard is about an attack on some monks that used to reside there. Well, has there been more?"
More than that happened. After that, it became haunted. It stopped. Some of the town guard for a short time used it as a jail when they ran out of room in town. The people that were kept there in the jail were found dead the next day, seemingly in a way which they couldn't work out. Had managed to end their own lives without any tools to do so.
Riff nods and says, "Wow, that's probably a better story than the ghost one, but
no one in the town cares to think about that or even acknowledge it happened."
Riff nods and says, "Wow, that's quite a harrowing story. Is that all that's happened to the keep?"
There's been bandits that have camped up there, but bad luck to anyone who has. No, not all of it lethal bad luck, but definitely bad luck to anyone who has tried camping there.
Riff nods. He says, "Well, I'm glad that I came and talked to you. What is your name? Just so I can tell the story a bit more authentically."
Bruce Blackwood.
There you go. Riff smiles and says, "It has been a pleasure, Bruce." She curtsies as she stands up and says, "I hope I haven't interrupted your game too much."
Just a bit, though. I think she was thankful that you interrupted. I was about to win one. I was about to win one of her adventuring gears off her. It's like some wand, but it was still something good.
Riff smiles and says, "Yeah, a game of cards is always fun, especially when you win." She grins and says, I'll buy you a drink for your worries." She smiles and turns her head towards Raphael again and walks over to the bar.
Raphael is currently wooing the beautiful lady at the bar, which he's learned the name of which is Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. Such a beautiful name. And he goes on in that fashion.
As Riff comes over.
Yeah, she's holding a rose, of course.
As Riff comes over, she looks at the waitress and says, I'd like to buy a round of whatever the lads were drinking over there." She smiles.
Coming right up. She She walked around the corner to go get something.
Raphael turns to Rithralinde. Well,
Riff conveys everything that she just learned. And says, I think it says in a hushed tone, I think our royal pain may be that ghost.
Raphael nods. Very well. Then I suppose there is no point in waiting. We should see to our business.
Riff nods. And says, shall we then?
Mm-hmm. Well, they get up and walk out towards the rest of the party, I guess.
Yeah.
You see a few people pointing up at the sky, saying they claim they saw something.
Bah! Hogwash.
Comet.
Yes. It's the Comet of Cassandora.
It's Harry Potter, that is.
It's Harry Potter, that is.
It's Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry.
It was just Pollard trying to catch a dove.
Yeah. He
Alright.
calls it the snitch for some reason. He's dipped it in golden
Yeah.
paint. It's really weird.
As Riff and Raphael go up, Riff will start to explain what she's learnt. And says, these people really think it's haunted, and some horrible stuff has happened around here. And who knows? I think the best course of action is to do exactly what we did with the witch. Head on. She chuckles.
Yes.
That was not funny, Rithralinde.
Riff kind of frowns.
Raphael thought it was kind of fun, yeah.
Is exactly what happened with the witch. So is Riv getting disintegrated?
Riff kind of frowns and says, well, it's just
People died. It's months
I-
ago.
This is the king, not the crazy witch that's lived for millennia. I think there's a difference.
Raphael nods. Yes. Let's go and take care of that pathetic little man, shall we?
Certainly, but keep your eyes out.
Nods. There is rumors about a lot of ghosts in there, after all. He
It
smiles.
doesn't mean that they have to be cruel.
It doesn't mean they have to be dead.
I guess we walk towards the place.
Guess
Might
we
as
do.
well.
Copy your tokens.
Copied, I think.
Sure.
Copied. Paula just never answered, so we...
You come up and over the hill.
That's derelict.
You are somewhere on the outside. You know, your choice which way you want to come from.
Well, it's a castle, that is.
You arrive. The walls are derelict. The towers are crumbling. The front door is barely hanging on its hinges.
What a place to stay.
There's a smell of miasma in the air.
Well, if you're desperate...
If not.
I wonder
think
why he
is.
picked it.
Exactly.
Riff shrugs and says, I reckon he's... this complex, from what I've read, was 3 stories high?
It's
2
one-
stories high,
two
1 down
stories in a
low.
basement.
Yeah. So there's not a huge amount of room to look. It's not a very big keep. Just kind of looks from one corner, a tower to the other.
And from what you told me, there was apparently the ghost, he does like quotation marks, was apparently seen on the top level.
Riff nods on the balustrades. Yeah. So maybe we should go from the ground up, and then if nothing's there, we go right to the bottom. If it's still possible, it's likely that it's probably caved in by now.
It's about sunset for your knowledge right now.
Everyone nods. Also, should we be seeing the interior of this keep? It's
It's not going to matter.
okay. This
Like,
will not
I
matter.
think we just like fly up anyway.
Yeah.
You can
Let's
fly.
do
There are
it.
holes. There are holes in the
It
roof.
is
you can see
done.
inside.
I've seen it from above.
Well,
There's
let's,
no roof.
You don't know what's inside these rooms, though. I haven't revealed that, but
Mhm.
you go through the front door, basically falling off its hinges as you go in.
Riff will be detecting magic as we go along.
Oh, by the way,
I
the
don't wanna
Empress
keep saying
said she preferred him to be alive, but you know.
Riff
She
chuckles.
preferred all the things, I'm sure.
So the bounty does say dead or alive.
What's the bounty on?
What's the bounty? Yeah. How high has that gone now?
What bounty? Raphael, there's a bounty?
what bounty is it now?
Haven't you read the
How high is
notices? He tosses over
No.
like a wanted poster.
The,
How
bounty,
much?
the bounty is a mere 100,000 gold.
Oh, well, we're gonna kill him. So,
we're still gonna kill
1,000
him.
gold.
100,000.
100,000.
That's 200. No, 20.
That's fucking
20,000
cheap,
each.
so that-
I said 1,000 gold. It's like, eh.
Thousand.
Yeah,
Laura would save his life for 100,000 gold.
yeah.
I suppose that's for
If-
each.
Because what the bounty? No, it's a grand total of. So if he's brought dead, it's a bounty of 100,000 gold. If brought alive, it's 120,000.
All right.
20,000 to bring him alive.
That's worth it to
that's worth an
kill him,
attempt.
I think.
Worth an attempt to. Oh,
We'll
okay.
see.
You want to kill him?
Yeah,
we
we'll
want
see.
to.
I
we
mean,
want
we'll
to
see.
extract information from him first, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we want. So.
Because
See,
just his death is not going to give anything.
You see the rickety front door to the main building.
Take a peek inside.
You take a peek inside. You notice a very cracked room. The floor surrounded by dust, but it's quite clear that this room is not stable. Like you could skirt across the edge, but going to the center, it's probably going to just cave in. Where to? You're not sure.
Take a rock.
How about we fly over
at the
instead of
others.
making a large noise? Looks to
Yeah.
Laurel on the rock.
Oh, we can put it. I'll just put it down here. Sure. Just wanted to see what was down there.
Surprise attack, right? She smiles. Worked in the other keep. She shrugs.
Well, we need to go around then.
So I would look at Arian and looks like you can't come with us inside. Can you keep a lookout from out here?
Nods. Flies up into the air.
Make sure no one escapes.
Yeah, make sure no one escapes, Arian.
No one! Not even Rithralinde!
Just clobber them to death if they show.
Okay, clobber Rithralinde to death.
Okay,
Right.
I thought we were going because this is the front door. There's no other way in.
There are
in.
like walls that are broken.
Yeah, there's a
Okay, alright, that's right.
probably wall in the south.
Alright.
And of course, there are the towers. You walk down here, the stench of miasma gets very, very strong, seemingly from the well.
What is
Lava bomb
that?
down there?
Miasma is like the combination of like the smell of rotting and disease.
Oh.
Bad stuff.
It's a smell. It's a smell you don't want to have.
Ugh. Oh, excuse me.
You know, it's similar to the smell of death. Just more rotten than death.
Sorry, I was editing something on my token. That's why I was
See what's in here.
You open the door. The room is mostly empty. It's quite clear that at some point something had been stored in here, quite large. You do notice footprints upon the ground, though. Someone has been here recently.
How recently?
You would judge. Let's see. You would judge. 21. You would judge probably within the last 48 hours.
Human?
Around that size.
Why? But did
Difficult
it seem
tell,
to
plate
go
boot.
in here?
It seems to be a plate boot. It seems to have gone in here and left again.
Well, let's demo search this room.
Okay.
If someone went in here and then left,
Detect
there's like pee in the corner or something.
Detect
See if we can
magic.
find anything. 31.
Laurel searches around. He eventually
nice.
he eventually notices some of the dirt which makes up the floor in this room has been disturbed in a certain place.
Uh-huh.
Hand me
Let's
a
take a look.
shovel.
Riffle gesture
Di-
Raphael
Do you
to
dig up the dirt?
come in here.
Yeah. I have an any tool.
Do you do it? You use a
No,
turn any
he'll
tool, using any tool, turn it into a shovel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep watch up here.
Okay. You dig away. You eventually hit something hard.
Let's take a look.
Observing down, it seems to be an old rotten wooden chest.
Let's pull it up.
Pull it up. The handle and was breaking as you do so.
Right.
Open!
Possibly to whoever was here before's absolute despise, the chest is locked.
I
So
mean,
we like open the wood.
You could probably break the wood open.
Oh,
without damaging the contents.
Let's
I
just
mean,
try
I'm-
to.
You know,
Try
just
to
for
Remember
Yeah,
last
first.
time we smashed the chest? I'm
a
just saying.
piece of my mind,
That's pretty good.
so it will
It's
detect.
not much of an issue.
So it will detect undead in the well.
Oh,
it's
There
obviously-
is lots.
I'll get to you in a minute.
The
Laurel?
keep is on.
You managed to get it open.
Yeah.
Inside there appears to be a lot of crystal glass bottles.
With one in them.
Most of them are empty. That one has a strange liquid in it, but the glass itself here is been specially forged and then engraved during the forging process.
Oh.
Very difficult to do.
Right.
The glasses are probably worth a decent bit on their own.
Sure. What's in the bottle that has something in it?
That'd be an alchemy or perception check.
I'll go with alchemy.
With the ridiculous, yeah.
Well, you know a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to potions.
Quite.
You are pretty proficient in this. It is. One moment. I'll find you exactly what this is. Yeah, is there even a reason I asked for your roll? Becomes a great question at this point. Where is it? There is a potion of protection from energy. The energy type is fire, and is considered
Right.
caster level 8.
Sure.
Well, Darby Fire up ahead.
Is it a wizard or cleric thing?
It is considered cleric.
Wait, it was a potion of what?
Protection from energy fire.
That's good.
The CR8.
And then you have the crystalline glass bottles, which, you think you have about 8 intact ones here.
Uh-huh.
Each one's probably worth about 200 gold each.
Right.
More epic loops.
One currently has a potion in it, so
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, outside,
Why would someone bury this here?
Lady Zoe casts. You cast Detect Undead, you say?
Mm-hmm.
You get a strange positive reading from the well.
She backs up and goes to Raphael. There's undeads in the well.
Raphael turns around, looks at the well, frowns. Do you know what kind?
Does she?
Nope, you haven't seen it.
No, just that they're undead.
We should probably keep away from it then.
I agree. Not. You go to Bollard and tell the others. There are undeads in the well.
Riff will step out, look at the well, walk away.
Yeah, Raphael keeps an eye on the well. He doesn't... If something crawls up from it.
Let's take a look inside.
There's a cracked wall here. Strangely to Laurel's eye, the wall looks like... It doesn't look like natural breakage.
Hmm.
It looks like it looks like a creature of rather, significant mass charged into the wall.
It's a very short distance to charge from.
Was it a T-Rex?
No, it seemed like it charged from the inside.
Oh.
Is there anything in the room?
Yes. The room
Which
is
suggests
filled
that
with...
a big creature could come in here?
The room seems to be filled with broken bits of wood, many of which are rotten.
But the doors in here are too small for such a creature to move. Right?
You would think so.
Hmm.
So
It is-
either it was a series of very short charges.
Be cautious of traps. Should walk inside.
Detect Magico.
You don't detect anything.
Just push this door open.
You push it open and you find a room. It seems to be an old storeroom. It's holding up better than most places you've seen so far in this building. There's an old wooden crate which just smells of something rotten. There's also a fungus on the floor, a bright yellow.
This door.
Laura used to be fascinated by bright glowing fungi.
Like if it's growing in a keep in the middle of like a forest thing, it's probably just fungus.
The door is
There are undeads here too.
barely on its hinges as you approach.
That's why she's opening it as looking in.
Yeah. The room seems to be mostly quite empty. There is rubble on the floor of some kind, clearly from upstairs. It seems like the roof is partially actually opened here.
Hmm.
And the top floor might have collapsed slightly.
Sure. No door.
No door.
Take it.
The door seems to be next to it on the floor.
The fighters are not gonna join us.
No.
You do
I'm still
know.
keeping an eye on that damn well.
Zoe,
Yeah?
you notice footprints that way.
How would I notice?
You notice footprints going that way.
You can see close range, remember?
Very dangerous on short distances.
She's Gimli. I knew it.
Yep, it's her Gimli vision.
She will poke Raphael and point at the footsteps.
She taps Raphael.
There are footprints
me.
going into that room.
Raphael will hiss to Laurel and then
Okay, Zoe will think Lowell over here.
Huh.
I don't know
Can
if he's
Laurel
still...
see the footprints?
Now you've had them pointed out, yes.
Alright.
You just didn't notice them before. They're being concealed by all the rubble.
Let's open the door.
You open the door. This is sturdier than the other ones, actually, and seems to be locked. Except, well, I say locked, but locked from a way which is not really easily openable from the outside.
Riff seeing this will cast knock.
Suddenly, you hear a deadlock move.
Oh,
You open the door.
Riff doesn't really want to stand around fucking around with a
You
lock.
open the door. You find a slightly rubbled room. There's a little bit of rubble in it. That's clearly come down the stairs. The stairs also seem to lead. There's also a set of stairs leading down. The footprints lead to the stairs. On the far side of the room, there seems to be an old cabinet and a vase.
What's in the vase?
The vase inside seems to be filled with some kind of murky water.
Huh.
However,
I'll drink it.
Lady Zoe, you look at the vase, and what you see is a beautiful elixir of the heavens itself inside the vase.
No! No!
Last trap.
It's not
shrugs,
Riff. Yeah.
shrugs and looks to the cabinet.
Okay, Zoe will point out forward. That is a very beautiful box.